is Terra McGowan. She's a catcher.
Are you new here?
Kind of feels like it sometimes.
On that note, because you've been pretty public about it, but you have another year, have you made a decision that this is it?
I don't know if that's information I'm allowed to release. No comment.
Okay, well, because you more or less implied it, but okay, fair enough. Whether it is or it isn't, just your thoughts of mentally going into your quote-unquote senior season.
I think it's a lot easier to kind of deal with the whole process. You know, we're a little bit older, our bodies are feeling it, but having like Allie, Bunker, and Kate, we've been here with Coach Lombardi since version 1, so that's definitely made the process a lot easier. And just, I think having a veteran team, it's a lot easier to transition into this extra year because everybody is on top of it.
What are the goals you guys want to accomplish during this fall ball period?
I think, like I said, we have a very veteran team, so just picking up where we left off from the spring, there is a very high expectation, and I think our number one goal is to meet and exceed that expectation.
How does fall ball differ on a day-to-day basis to the regular season?
I think that's kind of the gray area. We try to make it not differ, but the games are longer. Sometimes we'll go 10 innings, sometimes we'll put runners on, so it's just staying locked in for those odd situations or those longer game days.
What have you seen so far from some of the new pitchers you got, Morgan in particular?
Yeah, Morgan looks really, really good. I'm excited. I didn't get to compete against her. I was out, so I think it's really cool to actually have that opportunity to catch her now and play with her.
How do you guys go about replacing, forget about statistically what broke Day, obviously she's out last year, but really that more the intangible, like you talked about last year, like the fire and ice personalities you guys had and her competitiveness. How do you guys go about replacing that presence on the field?
I think the culture of Oregon is competitive, and that's not up to one individual, so that culture didn't leave with her.
You said you wanted it to be similar to the regular season. Obviously, it's not exactly the same. Are you guys going to be mixing around different lineups, trying different combinations defensively and batting orders?
Yeah, I'm sure, and I know a lot of people have class, and there's some weekday games, so there'll be people in and out, and yeah, I think we do have a veteran team, but with that comes flexibility, and anyone can play anywhere, and we've had a lot of versatility on our teams in the past, so I definitely would imagine multiple lineups.
You said a lot about the veterans, but are any of the true freshmen standing out so far at all?
Yeah, we only have one freshman, Remington, and she has absolutely kept up with the pace of all the veterans. The transfers are veterans in their own, and everyone has kept up with the pace.
What have you seen from Kyla so far on the field?
I love competing with Kyla. She has definitely made strides in our outfield. I can see their competitiveness go to her level, and it's really, really fun to watch her from behind the plate.
And Alyssa?
Alyssa's great at first base. I've never seen somebody pick the ball like Alyssa does. Her glove work is insane, and I'm really excited for her to play at the J.
You've had a season behind the dish with Stevie now. Where would you say your guys' chemistry is at right now?
I think Stevie and I are very close. We actually roomed together, I think, like 3 consecutive weeks last spring. So definitely a very close relationship, very comfortable together, and I'm really excited to see her excel this year.
Where have you seen her adjust, grow, change in any way over the last, since you guys played, it's about 5-6 months?
I think just as a human, she has very, made great strides. She's matured a lot in the weight room and conditioning, and she's working harder than I've ever seen her work before.
Where do you think this team has the most room to grow between now and regular season time?
I think just the pitching staff. We're used to having a fuller staff, so getting used to 4. But everything else, honestly, is strides above where it's been in the past.
Since you've been really public with your social media stuff to really be an advocate for athletes who are kind of in a similar spot to you as a freshman, how much have you heard from other athletes in that way? How many have actually taken you up on that offer to, hey, reach out and whatnot? How much have you actually heard from other players?
I've heard from probably close to 50 athletes, from, current athletes to past to future, and it has been very eye-opening just to see the culture of softball and all its levels.
Like I said, I'm guessing predominantly softball players or something.
Yeah, there's mostly female athletes. There's a couple male athletes, but predominantly softball.
What is that like to hear, Terry? Because obviously you had your own experience, which is quite public, but it's one thing to live your own deal, to hear other people's, it's a lot, to kind of voluntarily, be a soundboard for other people. What is it like to hear all that?
Yeah, I think just being someone who's gone through it in probably the most public of eyes, I want to be a safe space, and like I said, it's very eye-opening, and I hope that me interacting with these athletes, we can help change the culture.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Tara.